All right, we're joined by UFC heavyweight Chris Dogs, who's headlining another card. Chris, how's it going, man?
How are you, brother? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, obviously, when we talked before the Lewis fight, you were kind of
Yeah,
surprised you were getting a headlining spot. You didn't think you were really there yet. Now
yeah.
back to back, like, what's that kind of like for you?
I still don't think I'm there yet, but if the UFC wants to keep, giving me main events, who am I to say no? So whatever they call and ask me, am I available on this date? I always say yes.
How did this one come together? Because obviously, this Columbus card was supposed to be headlined by Blachowicz Rakic.
Yeah,
That fight fell out, and then it was like almost like 2-3 weeks before you guys kind of
yeah.
fight happened. Like, how did that kind of happen? Like, did you reach out and say, "Hey, I'm open for that," or did they kind of reach out to you?
No, it was kind of like UFC was kind of asking when I wanted to fight again. I gave them a bunch of dates. I said pretty much, from this date to this date, strictly because my wife's pregnant. So we're expecting the baby end of June. So I don't really want to be traveling anywhere close to the due date. So I pretty much told them I'll fight up until it was like June 4th or something. It's like the first Saturday in June. I said give myself a little bit of time to recover. My brother ready for his fight, which he just fought, and then after that, I'm ready to go. And they really just settled on this date. It wasn't like a, hey, can I get this date, or hey, I'd much rather have this. It was kind of like, how do you feel about doing this? And I said, sure, why not?
Well, congrats on the kid. Is that your first
Thank
or
you.
is it second?
Second,
Yeah.
second. So really excited. We'll see. We'll see how the other one, accepts the second one. But I'm real excited, man.
And then I think after the last fight too, like I think Blades kind of everyone kind of paired you two up together. Like, is that the guy you kind of thought would be next for yourself?
No, to be honest with you, no. I kind of thought I was gonna head back in the rankings a little bit. Maybe a guy closer to my position in the rankings. I mean, Blades is number four. He's been number four for a while now. Um, so yeah, I didn't expect to get him, but I'm not one to turn fights down. I want to fight the best guys. Obviously, Curtis is one of the best guys in the world. I think, um, he's the most dominant wrestler in the heavyweight division. He's got the most takedowns in a fight. I think he's got the most takedowns in heavyweight history. So yeah, it's going to be a true test, and then I'm really really excited to test myself against clearly I think one of the best guys in the world is.
And the big news too is it's in Columbus in front of fans. Like, how excited is
Yeah,
that for you? Were you not
yeah,
at the Apex?
yeah. I'm real excited about that. I had the fan experience on the Ortega Volkanovski card. I fell in love with the way that the fans are and all that, and now that I'm headlining that card, it's really great. And I'm really excited to just kind of fight outside of Vegas. I mean, Vegas is awesome. I love fighting there. I love traveling there. Where my brother fights, I love going out there. But it's really cool to start seeing. Like I've driven through Ohio. I've never stopped to see anything. So it'll be cool to spend a week in Ohio and get ready for a fight.
And with the fight being in Columbus, it's obviously the bigger octagon. Like, do you think that's a big benefit for this fight, especially with Blades, and then you have more room to kind of avoid the
Yeah, definitely.
takedowns?
Yeah, yeah, but it's kind of like a double-edged sword, It's more opportunity to avoid the takedowns, but then if I get taken down in the open mat, that cage is really far away trying to help myself get back up. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm just excited to fight again, man. I just want to have that feeling again of like smelling the gloves and like getting ready and just going through like the fight week preparations and everything like that. I loved it, when my brother does it and I love it when I do it. So I miss that stuff.
What do you make of Curtis Blaydes? Because like he's only ever lost to two guys, and Ngannou and Derek Lewis, who are like
Yeah,
two of the hardest hitters probably like
yeah,
in the history of the sport.
yeah,
And other than that, like he just kind of dominates everyone, just kind of
yeah,
runs through them with his wrestling.
yeah. He's obviously I think that he's the best guy who hasn't held a belt yet in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. Um, that's just the luck of the draw and the luck on some of those fights that he's had in the past. Like you said, he's ran into Derek Lewis, like we all have, and things happen when you fight Derek Lewis. He's very good. He's a very good fighter. I think he's one of the best in the world. And like I said, he's the best guy I think in the heavyweight division who hasn't held a belt yet. And you know, I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that he doesn't hold a belt anytime soon. Yeah, much respect to Curtis and what he's accomplished and him as a fighter.
I was talking to your brother after his fight, and we were kind of talking about your fight and how he kind of is helping you already for Blaydes, and like you guys didn't really know it just because whenever you
Yeah,
train together, like his whole style is just get you down to the ground and hold you down. It's
that's
like
his
how
whole
much of a
style.
benefit is having Kyle preparing for Curtis?
It's awesome. I mean, now granted, Kyle's not 260 pounds, but his tenacity and his chain wrestling skills and his wall work is just something that I truly appreciate to have in the gym on a daily basis. Like it's we were just training today, and it was fun going back and forth and wrestling and doing all that stuff. I mean, that's what I want. It's the challenge of being able to figure that out because Kyle can do that to a lot of people, and the world's going to see that. And if I can stop his takedowns and start mitigating his wrestling and his offensive wrestling, it'll it's going to transition well into the Blades fight.
How important do you think like knees and uppercuts will be? Because obviously that's how Lewis knocked out, and Rosenstruck kind of had some success with that too
Yeah.
when he's coming in.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a factor. Obviously, it's a fight. I can't rely on one thing. If I don't land an uppercut, let's just say I don't land an uppercut, my whole game plan goes out the window. There's really, it's like I need to land an uppercut, and even if I do land it, there's no saying that he's going to go to sleep or I'm going to hurt him. He could, shoot in. I hit him with an uppercut. It stands him up. He looks at me and he laughs at me. Like that's a possibility. That's a real possibility. So obviously, there's things that we're working on. With being able to touch him and mitigating his offensive wrestling. But I can't rely on one thing and expect that to work and then just be the shit out of luck if it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Are you gonna try to like limit the kicks just because obviously if he can catch it, it's easier when you're off balance?
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to kick a wrestler, but if I have an opening where I feel that I can land a big heavy leg kick or a jumping switch kick, I'm gonna fucking throw it. Yeah, why not?
How do you kind of see it playing out? Just because obviously Curtis has been knocked out, you obviously have a lot of
Yeah.
power, but the wrestling defense I think is going to be a big part of your how you win.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a high pace fight. Curtis doesn't really like to let off the gas. He likes to fight at his pace, at his wrestling pace. He kind of drowns guys. It's 5 5s. I have plenty of time to work. I just can't get any compromising positions that could cause the referee to stop it, even if I'm okay. Like if he's landing little shots on top, I can't be just content with hanging out there. So really it's going to be coming down to I think conditioning and positions and movement that is going to win the fight. Whether it'll win for him if he's better on setting his shots up as far as his wrestling and his chain wrestling, then that's up to him. But if I'm on my game and I've been training with college wrestlers, I'm ready to go as far as transitions and my defensive wrestling. I think I'll be okay. And this is what everyone wants to see, right? Everyone wants to see how my wrestling defense is and how my ground game is off my back or how my ground game is period. So what better fight than Curtis Blaydes?
Those are the first couple takedowns. Like I know you're obviously confident in yourself, but when you get in there and you stuff the first couple, like does your
Yeah,
confidence only grow
yeah,
from that?
absolutely, yeah. And that's just a natural thing. I mean, if you know a guy and his game plan and you're mitigating that game plan and you can stop a takedown or even if you don't stop the takedown, you get taken down but you get back up and you're right in his face right again or you keep getting up, he takes you down 10 times, you're getting up 10 times. Like if that's what it takes and you're just slowly building your confidence, that he can't keep you down, that he can't do what he wants to you. And, yeah, you might be able to get, he might take you down, but you'll be able to get back up. And that just builds and builds and builds. And that's really, fighting is about being confident. And if you're going through that adversity of getting taken down and getting back up, you're just building your confidence that I'm going to be able to get back up. And then his is going down. He's like, I can't keep this guy down. I can't keep this guy down. So, yeah, definitely a big factor.
You've never lost two in a row in your career either. Like what do you kind of think mentally like does that for you? Because you see fighters, they lose one, they kind of just like start going on a big skid where you've rebounded in
Yeah.
like big ways after a loss.
Yeah, it's something that I'm actively thinking about and I'm actively doing. It's just um I leave things in the past. You have to have a short memory in fighting. So really, it's about, okay, that happened. I accepted it. This is a whole new problem. I feel confident going into this, and I think that I'll be able to not start a skid, but to start on my way back up. And really, there's no better guy to do it against than number 4 Curtis Blaydes.
Going into this fight, like, do you think your wrestling is people like don't really know about it? Like, that's the big kind of X factor because like
Yeah,
we've seen Curtis strike, we've seen Curtis wrestle, we've seen you
yeah,
strike, but like in the UFC, like we haven't seen you wrestle or take down. Even
yeah.
it's like that's kind of the big mystery going into this fight.
That's the big mystery that everyone kind of wants to see. If I'm Curtis Blaydes, I'm fully confident that I'm going to be able to take me down if I was him, just because of stats alone and his pedigree as a heavyweight wrestler. We'll see, we'll see. I know what he likes to do. While watching him for a while, I know exactly um, his setups and different things like that. Now, granted, he's a smart fighter. He knows things are going to have to be changed up after a certain time. People are going to start getting you know hip to everything that he does. But I have full confidence that I'll be able to beat Curtis Blaydes.
Where do you think a win puts you? Because especially if you go out there and finish him, like he's obviously
Yeah,
ranked fourth, that puts you in the top five, and like
yeah,
kind of gets you right back to where you were before that Lewis fight, where you're knocking on the door of that title contention.
absolutely. Yeah, I think I take his spot. Really, that's what I think should happen as far as rankings. If you're an unranked guy and you fight number 13, you beat 13, you finish 13, you should take 13 spot. I just think that that's how it should play out. You keep what you kill in my mind. I go out there, I finish Curtis Blaydes, I take his spot at number 4. Wherever he falls, he falls. And then really, like you said, top 5, I don't know who they would give me after that. I doubt it would be a Derek Lewis rematch right away. It just doesn't make any sense coming off that. Maybe they would do tie. If they do tie, they do tie. I'm fine with Tuivasa, but if anyone else, you know what? I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know because the UFC does whatever the hell the UFC wants to do, and they could tell me that I'm fighting an unranked guy, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm fighting an unranked guy. It doesn't matter. So whatever they have in the whole grand scheme of things, I'm down for it.
Well, like I remember when I was texting you in the Lewis fight, like you were shocked that even came together, and then shocked at the
Yeah,
Blade. Like, you kind of have
yeah.
no clue how your career is going.
I don't know, man. I literally just like go to the gym, I train, I sign a fight, and then it's kind of like, all right, what's next? And then they're like, hey, this is next, and you're like, all right, like, what am I gonna say? No, what am I gonna tell McMahon and Shelby? Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, of course, I'm the fighter, and that's what I get paid to do, and that's why I'm here. So whatever the UFC wants to do, I'm down.
What do you make of the top of the heavyweight division? Like since your last fight, like some stuff. Obviously, we had the title fight, and Ngannou
Yep.
showed out his wrestling. Now he's kind of with that knee injury, the contract.
Yeah,
Obviously, I knocked out Derek Lewis. Jon Jones is always out there. Like, what do you
yeah.
kind of make of the top of the division?
I think it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. You got to think that Francis. I think there was reports saying that he's going to be out for at least 10 months. I would put that closer to a year, strictly because of rehab. Now, granted, he's a super athlete. He's going to have the best things in the world helping him. Um, I would just say a year that he's going to be out as far as rehab, the surgery, and then a training camp. I think that they're going to make a interim title fight. I don't know who that would be. It's going to probably be Stipe. I don't know if they do Cyril right back to that. If Jon Jones is going to jump in, but there's the whole like you know if they offer me Jon Jones, obviously it would be an honor to fight Jon Jones. It would be a huge undertaking as far as fighting a lot of people considered to be the light heavyweight goat or the pound for pound best fighter in the world. But he has his legacy. I'm building my legacy, and I don't know if his track record and his history is enough to get me to sign on the contract. Just because, yes, I respect Jon Jones as a martial artist and what he's done in the UFC, but I don't know if I could give that man 12 weeks of my life and then nothing happen at the end of it. You know what I mean? Like if he gets in trouble, and I'm strictly basing that on his track record of what we've seen in the past. That's no dig on him or anything like that. I'm not trying to put him down in any way, but that's just me right now. I'm still trying to build, who I am as a fighter, still trying to, continue with my career. But yeah, I mean, I hope he gets his shit together. I hope he does come back. But we'll see. If I was offered it, I probably wouldn't take it strictly because there's no guarantee. Like unless something happens after weigh-ins, I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid to fight Jon Jones.
Mhm.
Like if I sign a contract, there's nothing that says I'm going to get paid for wasting 12 weeks of my life when he's just going to go fucking up. You know what I mean? But that's why I truly don't think that Jon Jones is. I don't consider him a factor until I won't consider Jon Jones a factor in the heavyweight division until he has a fight, whether that's for the title fight or that's someone else coming up and fighting him. But besides that, sure. I mean, it's crazy to see like Ty's right in the mix with everything. Derek Lewis is still there, but I don't know what they're going to do. It's really, and then you got Aspinall and Volkov, so who knows what's going to happen at the top of the division.
Yeah, I think if Jon Jones actually is serious about making a heavyweight move, which he's talked about for years,
Yeah,
I think you have to throw him in a title fight right away because you don't know how Jon Jones is going to do at heavyweight. He could get knocked out and be like, "This isn't for me." So
true,
I think you have to kind of make the most money right away. I think you
true.
do interim belt, Stipe, John, and then do like Ty, Cyril, or maybe you like Blaydes winner versus Ty because I think I wouldn't even be surprised if they did Ty Stipe as an interbelt, just because Ty's is like hyped up as he could be right now. You don't like
Yeah,
he's been on losing streaks before. Like Sergey Spivak choked him out, who isn't
yeah,
even in that top 15. Like I think you kind of have to jump on that too. So,
yeah,
but I think your point, like the whole heavyweight division's a mess with Ngannou at the
yeah,
top because you don't know when he's fighting, which
yeah.
then makes guys like 1 to 3 not want to fight because they might be the guy to get that title fight.
Correct. It's just crazy. And then I don't think I'm to be honest to go back with the Jon Jones thing. I think Stipe's really smart. I don't think that he's gonna. Obviously, Stipe wants a title fight. I don't know if Stipe would sign on the dotted line for Jon Jones. He'll do it. He'll probably do it for anybody else in the division, but I don't think he'll do it for Jon Jones. So we'll see how that one plays out.
Just last couple of things. Obviously, you
Yeah.
said you had the kid going in June, so like you get a win here in March. Like when's
Yep.
that time frame then? Probably near the end of the summer
No. I
or
if
fall.
I no I'm getting the win March 26th against Curtis Blaydes. Um, barring any kind of broken hands or real bad cuts or anything like that, I'm trying to get right back into the gym and trying to squeeze in one more before the baby's born. Right before June, I told my wife that I would take a fight. Yeah, I think it was June 4th. We settled on the date. I would take that fight because the baby's born at the end of June. So June 4th is the cutoff. So get through Curtis Blaydes. I'll take last one June 4th. Nice big fat paycheck. Enjoy my wife having the baby. Be losing sleep for a couple weeks because there's nothing worse than getting ready for a fight when a baby's born and you're getting 2 hours of sleep here, 2 hours of sleep there. But then, yeah, after the baby's born, um, really, I would like to do the same time frame for the later part of the year. So probably right around my birthday, depending on how we go with the baby and anything like that, and then maybe again at the end of the year. I mean, I'm a guy who likes to stay active. I like to work, so I'm fine with fighting 3 to 4 times a year if I can physically, and making sure everything stays intact. But yeah, get Curtis Blaydes fight, win, get out of there super clean, take one more for the baby, and then we'll figure out one or two before the end of the year.
Yeah, because you fought on your birthday last year. Because yours is a
Yeah,
day before mine. Just
yeah,
10 years later, I'm 99.
yeah.
You're 89. But
There you go.
um, just two last things. Like obviously Kyle's a big win. Like
Yeah,
where do you think what you make of that win, and like what do you kind of see next for him?
domination. That was 100% a domination. I mean, appreciate Pickett for stepping up, but Kyle dominated him. You know that that's really all you can say about that performance. It was a flawless performance. I think Kyle got hit one time, twice maybe. But other than that, he showed his skill in the ground and showed what he can do. What we've known for him to do earlier in his professional career and what he does day in and day out in the gym. He just ragdolls guys, and it's really fun to watch. Really, I think he's got another big name as far as someone who's they're both right outside of the top 15, like 20, like the 20ish, if you consider that. And then he goes through that guy, and then he gets a top 15 guy. I think that he deserves it. I think, with the shitty year that he's had and the fights falling through and everything like that, he gets another name who's right outside that top 15, and then he just goes right into the deep end and he's running off to the races.
And I saw in James' interview, you got a bit starstruck with Habib. Did you get a chance
Yeah,
to talk to him?
I got a chance to talk to him. So Kyle was actually talking to him after the fight because Kyle was asking him about wrist control, about riding in the wrist control. And Khabib was saying it was about the hips. So then when we were all coming around out of the cage and going out the octagon, him and Kyle had another brief interaction, and that was really cool. I was more all like struck that how big he is. Like, he's very big. Like, I didn't think that he's that big. Granted, he's probably drinking Coke and eating cheeseburgers all the time, but he's very big. Like, his head is like, it's very big. It's like a bowling ball or like a basketball. Like, I know, like, guys get big out of camp, but that man he's a thick man, as they say. He is very thick. So yeah, it was really cool, and I think he's really the only person I really get starstruck. I like his attitude towards fighting. I like his attitude towards work ethic and being in the room. Yeah, so yeah, it was pretty cool.
Just last thing, when I was talking to Kyle, he kind of said, you get this win. He thinks that's the key to getting back to Philly is you winning this, because then you're top 5. You're the headliner. You have Sean Brady. You have himself. So how much your brother's putting a bit of pressure on you to go get
no
the win?
Pressure, man. Pressure's fake. Pressure's fake. Pressure is made up. There's no such thing as pressure. That's fake. If UFC wants to come back to Philly, I'm fine with headlining that card. If they want to give Sean Brady the headline, that's fine with me. Doesn't matter to me. Give him. I think he's right around the same ranking that I am. Give him a top guy. I think he deserves it. I think he deserves to have the main event. I think he deserves to have a fight, and I don't think he deserves to be fighting unranked guys. He's proven that he's one of the top guys in the world, and he should get that kind of respect. But me as a fighter and financially, I'm taking that main event spot. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, because they could really stack like a Philly card. Like, they could do you or Brady headlining. Like, Brady could fight not like just like say a Wonder Boy, like a name like that. That's obviously going to bring eyeballs, not a Philly guy.
Yeah.
You have your brother, you have Petrosky. Like, there's like a full main card of just you. Philly
you have
guys.
Pat Sabatini. You have a whole main card stacked, ready to go. So I'm ready to go. Yeah, and it'd be like, okay, who are we just matching up with these guys? And we'll sell it out. UFC will make a shit ton of money. The venue is going to make a shit ton of money with beer and ticket sales and all that stuff. So it's the only smart decision. I don't think there's another city. I don't think there's another city in the United States that has this many fighters fighting out of that could sell out an entire arena like that. So that'd be really cool.
Well, Chris, I appreciate the time as always. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course, brother. Thanks a lot, man.